Unit 1, Part 7, I can interpret histograms. So we're going to talk about a final way of representing data, which is called a histogram. So a histogram is a graphical distribution of data arranged into discrete groups. Although similar in appearance to a bar graph, a histogram deals with continuous data. So if you look down here, it's a range of numbers, so we're in between 0 and 5. We don't exactly know which numbers were in between 0 and 5, which numbers were specifically used. We don't know 2, if it was 3, if it was 4. It could be any number 0 to 5. And we can see that in between 0 and 2 would be 1. So this would say that one person guessed the number 0 to 5. So let's just say we're saying we want people to guess a number 0 to 50. What were the guesses? Well, one person guessed a number 0 to 5. Here we have 2 people guess a number between 5 and 10. Here 2 people guess a number between 10 and 15. And this is just one situation that can match this particular graph. So that's what it means by continuous data. There's not like a pinpoint of data, it's very continuous. So we are going to work on just interpreting data from a histogram. So use the histogram shown to answer each question. So right here we have our graph. Now we do have a label on the side. So this is students. So we have 0 students, 1 student, 2 student, 3 student, 4 students. And then we have gifts. So we're going to be working with the number of gifts that students have received. So how many students received between 0 and 2 gifts? So we go to between 0 and 2, and we look at our bar graph, and we go up to 2. We can see that the line is at 2, and we're between 0 and 2. So 2 students received between 0 and 2 gifts. We don't know if they received 0 gifts, if they received 2 gifts, if they received 1 gift, but we do know 2 students received between 0 and 2 gifts. How many students are represented in this diagram? So in order to figure that out, we need to know how many students are represented in each rectangle on the graph. So we have this one was representing 2 students because we go up to 2. This rectangle here between 2 and 4 gifts is represented by 3 students. Same with this one, same with this one. 3 students received between 2 and 4 gifts, 3 students received between 4 and 6 gifts, 3 students received between 6 and 8 gifts, and then between 8 and 10 gifts is 4 students. So then we just have to add up these numbers. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 3 is 8, plus 3 is 11, plus 4 is 15. So 15 students are represented in this histogram. Question 3, if a student received 6 gifts, which bar would they be added to? So with this, because we're working in ranges, you can see we have 0 to 2, and then we have 2 to 4. And you're like, okay, well, 2 is in both. So how it works is the first number is included in the numbers, the second number is not. So really, for these ranges, this box would be for 0 and 1 gifts, this box would be for 2 and 3 gifts, this box would be for 4 and 5 gifts, this box would be for 6 and 7 gifts, and then this box would be for 8 and 9 gifts. So if we look at it that way, the 4th bar, this bar right here, would be the one that 6 would be included. The 6 to 8 range one. Most students received between blank and blank gifts. So if we look here, 4 is the maximum number of students receiving gifts. So between 8 and 10 gifts. One more example. So in this case, you can see that we have drivers on the vertical and gas on the horizontal. So we're looking at how much gas do drivers purchase. And in this case, our ranges are nicely defined for us. So in the first example, we had that question of where does the 6 belong? Here we don't have that question. We know exactly which numbers belong in which column. So it's nicely defined for us in that way. So before we answer any of the questions, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to identify how many drivers are in each column. So between 5 and 9, I have 7 drivers. Between 10 and 14, I have 6. 15 to 19 is 5. Same with 20 and 24. And 25 to 29 is 8. Sometimes doing that at the forefront can kind of help you answer the questions just a little bit easier. So question 5 says, most drivers purchase between blank and blank gallons. Well, I look for my biggest number, and the biggest number is 8. So most drivers purchase between 25 and 29 gallons. Question 6, how many drivers are represented in this histogram? Well, since I already have all my numbers, I just need to add all these up. So 7 plus 6 is 13, plus 5 is 18, plus 5 is 23, plus 8 is 31. So we know that 31 drivers are represented in this histogram. If a driver purchased 17 gallons, which bar would they be added to? So 17 is between 15 and 19 gallons, so they would be added to bar 3, the 15 to 19 gallon one. And then how many drivers purchase between 5 and 10 gallons? That would be 7 drivers because they are in that 5 to 9 category. That is how you read and interpret a histogram. You can go ahead and move into the practice problems and give those a try on your own.